Hi everybody, it's me, Jaron. Today I'd like to talk to you about a wrestler named Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit is one of the greatest technical wrestlers I have seen in my whole life. I grew up to Chris Benoit back in the mid to late 2000s. He was a real fine technical wrestler. I read stories about him. He wrestled in Japan, ECW, WCW, and WWE. He had amazing accomplishments in his whole career. The reason why people don't normally talk about him, and you probably may or may not know, is because of what happened with him, his son Daniel, and his wife Nancy. As the story goes, he killed his wife and son, then later on himself. What a real travesty. People need to understand that Chris was sick. It turns out when they did the autopsy on him, he had CTE. It's a rare brain condition, so many blows to the head he sustained over his 20 plus year career as a wrestler caused concussions, and later on the CTE was forming. Now, I don't condone what he did to his family and to himself, but we need to understand that it was a horrible situation. We need to learn, the whole world, the wrestling world and the WWE need to learn to forgive him. It wasn't like we didn't know. CTE was brand new at the time, and we need to remember we can't just remember him for his tragic family incident. We got to remember him for being a wrestler, a hell of a performer, and he was a good, other than what happened to him and his family, I'm pretty sure he did not mean to hurt them. He was in a dark place, and he was dealing with the CTE problem, and his best friend Eddie Guerrero passed away 2 years prior. It was really hard for him to deal with the loss of his friend Eddie. I read that him and Eddie were good friends back in Mexico and Japan, in WCW, ECW, and WWE, all the way up to Eddie's passing. He really took it hard. And the reason why Chris deserves a second chance in his legacy, because is because look what he did in the ring. Look how many people he inspired to do what he did. I look at Daniel Bryan. He used to do similar things than what Chris Benoit would do. And I'm looking at him like, man, he went back when he was working for WWE. He's in AEW. He's in AEW right now. Is that, wow, he a little bit looks like Chris Benoit a little bit. And it eats me up to see that Daniel Bryan looks at least similar to Chris Benoit. Similar, not the way, the same, similar. Chris Benoit was one of my favorite wrestlers. I grew up to him the same way I grew up to Eddie Guerrero, Batista, John Cena, Rey Mysterio Jr., Randy Orton, Triple H, and The Undertaker, and all the guys before like him and similar to him. I'm just really sick and tired of people disrespecting his legacy, like, oh, he's a murderer. Oh, Chris Benoit, the child murderer, the wife killer. Man, get over it. When I remember a football player named Junior Seau, he was a defensive tackle for the San Diego Chargers. He had CTE, and you know what he did? He abused his sons, again in car wrecks, had terrible migraines, and he wasted all his money. And everyone don't bring that up. All they talk about they talk about the good things and don't bring up what he went through. And they gave him a chance, and they ducked him in the Hall of Fame. What about Chris? I mean, Junior and Chris are two different people, but come on, it's not fair. When I watched a documentary about him. He abused his son with CTE while he was suffering from CTE, and they forgave him. What about Chris's family? They deserve a little. They forget. What about Chris's family? Huh? Chris's family deserves a little peace. He deserves every bit of respect. What he did in the ring. Chris fought was one heck of a worker, one heck of a wrestler, and I miss him every day the same way I miss Eddie Guerrero. I miss him. He was a great worker. I heard a lot of good things about him. Batista misses him. Talk good things about him. He was incredible. I remember a house in '05. I saw the man wrestle, and my God, he can do it. He got the skill, the talent. I miss him. And all you people out there talk about is what he did to himself and his family. That's just morbid. That's just saying we don't love you, Chris. I loved him. I liked him. I'm not condoning the fact what he did to his family and himself was right. It was wrong, but there was a backstory to it. He was suffering from CTE, and he was going through some things. So please, world, forgive Chris Benoit. I know God would. His family still loves him. His son loves him. Please, let's just forgive him. Give him a chance, and let his legacy live on as a decent human being. I'm pretty sure he didn't mean to hurt his family like this. He was in a dark place. This is what I have to say. Thank you, world. Bye.